Well, first of all, thank you very much for your time talking to us today. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a real privilege to be here.
So give me a flavour of what a couple of the main points that from your book that you were talking about this morning.
Well, I think the really big thing that comes from the book is that the leaders who are facing forces outside of their control, as many of these leaders are, I mean, they have so many things that they can't control, that there are ways of exerting a sense of control in a world that's out of control. And by having that insanely fanatic discipline and the empirical creativity and the productive paranoia kind of all infused with that ambition bigger than yourself, allows you to navigate a world that is out of your control and do really well in it. So to me, the biggest lesson from all of it is your performance, or the performance of your community, or the performance of your organization isn't determined by what happens to you. It's determined by how you lead, the choices you make, the behaviors you bring, and that even in extreme environments, that's true.
One of the things that I found really interesting in the book was this concept of the 20-mile march. I found that a very fascinating concept, that you kind of had to set that exacting standard, but you stuck to 20 miles even if you could do 40 miles, and you had to do this kind of over a sustained period of time. Now I can understand in terms of business, metrics of financial performance, how would city managers or county managers take that on board?
Well, it was interesting last night at dinner. I had a wonderful conversation with a group of city managers, and they were describing how this issue of managing your budget and services that you deliver, and the kind of connection between those two, and that being on a 20-mile march would mean that when conditions really improve and your budgets improve, you don't go wild and hire 14 extra people that then later, when conditions aren't strong, you're going to get your budget services ratio out of whack. And the 20-mile marching could be basically saying, we're going to systematically over time be able to get the ratio of amount and quality of services divided by budget going up and up and up and up, which means you have to manage both pieces of it. That could be one way that they think about it.
One of the other things that I found really interesting in your book is the way you dealt with innovation. Because you sit in here and you put the television on in the United States, people talk about it's all about innovation. If we were more innovative, if we had a more innovative culture, but you say it's not all about innovation.
Well, the evidence is quite clear that the pioneering innovators rarely win. So that's just fascinating data in itself. The most innovative, purely innovative, tend not to be the big winners in the end. Now, the winners are innovative, but if you really think about what's, and I'll speak as an American here, I've thought a lot about this question because we Americans tend to think that our trump card in the end is innovation.
Right.
I've come to the conclusion that we're wrong.
Right.
I believe we are innovative, so I'm very clear about that, but I think our great distinctive strength has been our ability to scale innovation. It's our ability to take an innovation and make it bigger and bigger and bigger, and to be able to extend it out and to have it reach more and more people. So if you look at a case like, say, Intel wasn't that it just always had the most innovative chip. It was the fact that Intel had this amazing ability to scale up and continue to double the number of components and continue to deliver it with great quality and excellence. And it was that combination of creativity and discipline, not just creativity, that really distinguished. Historically, I believe that is where America has really shined. We didn't invent the automobile, but we scaled it better. We go into industry after industry. It was our ability to make it big off of an innovation that really separates.
But what you also talked about in your book is not to take big risks, not to, you said fire cannonballs.
Yeah, you want to fire cannonballs. So this is the really interesting thing. The fire bullets, then fire cannonballs. It's not a matter of, the question is not risk or not risk. The question is, where do you place your big bets? Because if you don't place a big bet, then you're never actually going to achieve exceptional results, if you're never really going big. The question is, how do you place your big bets and bound your risk at the same time? And there the answer is, what we found is that all of our companies and all of our leaders did place big bets, but they placed them after they had proven that they had taken most of the risk out by proving that that bet would likely pay off. The uncalibrated cannonball is dangerous. The calibrated cannonball is how you get something great.
Difficult thing, and finally the difficult thing, coming through your book, discipline comes through all the way through. That's not a very comfortable word these days, discipline. But discipline in these are very uncertain times for a lot of folks. Discipline seems to be, it's important.
All of our research, every study we've done, it's very clear that the winners are more disciplined, than the ones who don't win. There's just no question. But discipline doesn't mean rigidity. I like to think of discipline in an almost artistic sense. Right? You think of Hemingway rewriting the last page of A Farewell to Arms 39 times. Rewriting, and then when asked, well, why are you rewriting the last page of Farewell to Arms 39 times? He's getting the words right. I mean, that's how he looks at it. Well, the discipline is, I'm going to write and rewrite and keep pounding until this thing gets right. So he's got the creativity of the story. But if you look at any artist that delivers a body of work over time, look at a great architect, look at a great composer, look at a great performing symphony orchestra. Right. Try to imagine producing great music with no discipline. Now, it might be creative, but it's not going to go in your head, and it's not going to cause you that amazing sense of an exquisite experience. That, to me, is discipline and creativity go hand in hand. That's the power.
I could talk to you all day about your book. You haven't got time, but thank you very much indeed.
You're so very welcome.
I really appreciate it, and maybe I could get you to
of course.
Sign it for me.
Let me grab up.
I got an ICMA pen here. That,
your first name again?
Stephen.
Stephen, S-T-E-P-H?
P-H, yeah.
Well, I really enjoyed being here. A lot. There you go.
Thank you very much.
You're very
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
Keep up the great work. I really enjoyed your questions. That was fun.